Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, voice you know with the news you trust studio, sponsored by the Family Forest Carbon Program, where we help family forest owners get paid to improve the health of their woods. Well, bright sunshine, 83 degrees on the barn thermometer right now. Looks like it's going to be warming up into the low 90s once again. Another hot day, but probably not quite as brutal as the last couple we've experienced. Well, hit and miss are the words that describe the Buckeye State when it comes to where the rains have fallen and how much, also what the crops look like. Those that look pretty good, those that are pretty tough. This quick calendar reminder, the 2025 Ohio State Weed Science Field Day is going to be held on Wednesday, July the 9th at the Western Ag Research Station there in South Charleston, Ohio. Registration starts at 8:30 and the program begins promptly at 9. Field day topics will include a crop and weed herbicide screen, herbicide injury plot, water hemp control, and current trials they have evaluating the integrated pest management strategies like cover crops. Again, time is from 9 until 1 at OARDC's Western Ag Research Station. To register or for more information, visit their website, go.osu.edu/weedscience25. Taking a look at your agricultural headlines, geopolitics impacting agriculture as it typically does. Taking a look at what's going on right now in the Strait of Hormuz, it's important to remember that fertilizer is a big deal in that part of the world. Roughly 52% of the global urea exports come from the Middle East. Iran has voted to close the narrow body of water with the intention of cutting the West from the very important body of water, which would stop oil shipments. Now, the strait is also incredibly important for urea movement in that region. If oil is the target, urea will be the innocent bystander that gets caught up in the mix. The strait is not only important to the U.S., but a lot of the Western world, so we need to wait and see what happens. The fertilizer market will be watching the situation very closely as we take a look at what fertilizer was doing compared to what it did a year ago. Some interesting price trends, again, not necessarily the way we want to see it go for farmers. Average retail fertilizer prices for most continued to be up from last month as we looked at the end of June. But for the second week in a row, no fertilizer was necessarily moving in a significant direction as of yet. Now, retail prices for 7 of the 8 major fertilizers were up slightly from last month. DAP had an average price of $807 a ton. MAP came in at $833 a ton, while potash was $474 a ton. Urea, the big question, at $655 a ton, while 1034 was $669 a ton. UAN 28 was $417 a ton, while UAN 32 was $495 a ton. Those the nationwide average prices. The average price for one fertilizer was down slightly from last month. This is good news for those still side dressing corn. Anhydrous ammonia had an average price of $773 a ton. So if we take a look at all these on a price per pound unit nitrogen basis, the average urea price was 71 cents a pound unit nitrogen. Anhydrous ammonia was 47 cents a pound unit nitrogen. UAN was at 75 cents a pound, and UAN 32 was 77 cents per pound. Taking a look back 12 months ago, 7 fertilizers are now higher compared to where they were. MAP is 1% higher, while both DAP and 1034O are up 4%. Anhydrous ammonia is 5% more expensive than it was last year at this time. UAN 28 is 18% more expensive. UAN 32 is 24% higher, and urea up 25%, looking back to where it was last year. Well, let's get a check on your Thursday weather forecast, brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com.
Pop-up scattered thunderstorms still part of the forecast here today. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Quick forecast update for you. We're going to be seeing on again, off again pop-up thunderstorms over the next several days. Heavier totals in the afternoon and then mornings, but still, this is heat-based instability at its finest. I'm not going to rule out thunderstorms at all until we get to next Tuesday. From Tuesday forward next week, we should be dry and pleasant. That's because we have a frontal boundary coming through overnight Monday night into Tuesday. So until then, just continue to stay warm. Well, actually, I should say stay cool as heat-based thunderstorms continue to pop up around us. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Let's get an analysis on today's markets from Leist Mercantile. This update brought to us by Brandt, helping growers take control for over 70 years.
This is Ryan Metzger with Leist Mercantile, providing you with your USDA announced export sales report for the week ending June 19th. Exports for old crop corn was seen at 742.2 thousand metric tons. Exports for old crop soybeans was seen at 402.9 thousand metric tons. Exports for new crop wheat was seen at 255.2 thousand metric tons, so we will need to see the following weekly sales in order to reach our USDA export targets. On old crop corn, we have already exceeded that target, so we will need to see that adjusted on the next USDA report. On old crop soybeans, we will need to see weekly sales of 84,000 metric tons, which despite seasonal demand switching to South America, U.S. FOB origin remains cheaper than both Brazil and Argentina. On new crop wheat, we need to see weekly sales of 253.4 thousand metric tons, and we have U.S. FOB origins cheaper than all other world origins except the Black Sea. Please visit our website, lifemercantile.com, to learn more about our grain marketing program and crop insurance services.
And thanks, Ryan. Well, let's take a look at the market numbers on the Chicago board, brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. July corn is trading up 3/4 penny at $4.11. July soybeans down 1 3/4 at $10.23.5, and wheat for July trading down 1 1/4, $5.27. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. This is the Ohio AgNet.